My dearest Melinda, there's something I must tell you. The truth is,
Yeah?
I love you so much.
But,
I've been in love with you for most of my life.
But,
Will you be mine?
But I'm a...
Guy. A guy? A guy?
Yes.
A guy? I don't care. I still want you, baby.
No!
Hey guys, the Black Critic Guy, and I am back with an all-new video for LGBT month. And joining me in this awesome video is my good friend and lovely roommate, Mateo, aka the Hispanic Critic Guy. How you doing, my friend?
Fantastic.
How's it feel to be in a review instead of in an unboxing video?
A little nerve-wracking, but I think I can handle it.
So he's gonna do a good job, guys, I promise you. And what are we reviewing today, by the way, Matt?
Today we will be reviewing Love Stage.
Which is what?
It is a yaoi anime.
Yes, and I couldn't pick a better person to do this review with, as Matt is actually a part of the gay community, and I really wanted to get his perspective on this, and boy, do we have a lot to talk about, don't we, Matt?
Yeah, quite a bit, quite a bit.
Alright, well, let's get into the premise.
So Love Stage follows Asumi Sena, who is an aspiring manga artist, hardcore otaku, and the youngest of a prestigious family of entertainers. As a child, he participated in a commercial of a wedding where he was forced to dress up as a female. And now 10 years later, they're commemorating that same commercial with the same cast, making him be forced to dress up as a female again.
And this puts him in a very awkward situation, as when he goes on the set, he meets Ryoma Ichijo, who was the boy that was in the commercial with him and has for years been in love with him. Like, he was obsessed with him and had a picture of him, but for the whole time he always thought that he was a she. So he was totally oblivious to the fact that he's actually a male. And after the shoot goes on, everything goes off without a hitch and they're having a discussion and stuff. And then finally, the ball gets dropped and it's revealed that Izumi is actually a dude. And let's just say Ryoma did not react to the news all that well. He was very angry. He's like, "You tricked me all these years, you freaking cross-dressing pervert, I hate you." From here, we just follow their blooming romance. Now, this anime by far was the most requested anime for me to watch and review for LGBT month. So many of you commented on my Facebook fan page saying, "You gotta see Love Stage for LGBT month, Tony. Watch Love Stage, it's so great. Watch Love Stage, watch Love Stage, watch Love Stage, please." And so that actually got me pretty curious to check the anime out. And this would actually be the first yaoi anime that I would ever see. And it's not because I have a problem with yaoi animes or yuri animes. I really don't have a problem with them. Love is love, in my opinion. As long as you focus on the relationship and really develop the romance between them, make them form a strong connection and bond, that's great. The only issue is that I had a preconceived notion that with yuri and yaoi animes, they always focus on the sexual side of a relationship and really slacked on the whole emotional romantic side. And honestly, yeah, there is a sexual element to a relationship, but that should not be the main focus, nor should it be the only thing that keeps the relationship together. It's about the connection, the romance, and the emotions. And so, oh, I love you too, man. And so I decided I'm gonna go give this a watch. I was really curious to see it, and I asked Matt here to come and watch and review this with me, as he has been in a few relationships and he is a part of the gay community. So I thought he could give me some insight and see whether or not they got it right. And after seeing the anime, all we can say is
No. We were, I would say slightly disappointed with the...
slightly.
Okay, we were...
Slightly. I was very
disappointed.
This is my first yaoi anime. This is my introduction to the genre. What the fuck? My preconceived notion was right. I was so upset. But before we begin bashing on this anime, let's actually address some of the good elements, because this anime does have a few good elements. Like, for me, I really like the animation. The animation is solid, it's colorful, the character designs are really good. They put a lot of effort into the animation. Do you agree?
Definitely. It was a beautiful anime to see.
Yeah, it looked really nice. And also, both Matt and I love the opening and ending themes. They were catchy. Hell, he was singing it all the time. He would just try to irritate me, just like humming it. I'm like, stop singing it. I want to hear it.
The big thing for me was it definitely, I would say, almost normalized the idea of a man-to-man relationship within the anime or the anime universe.
Yeah, they were very accepting now that I think about it.
Yeah.
No one was just like, what? You're in a gay relationship? Disown.
And even when the public, not to spoil anything, but even when the public found out that Asumi was indeed a man, it really had the news about it had nothing to do with the fact that he was impersonating a woman prior, but he was making his big entertainment debut.
His debut.
Since he was a part of this big entertainment family, which I thought was a really, really nice spin on things.
One character later on in the anime even said that, you know, it's the cuteness, like cuteness justifies all. It doesn't matter if they're a boy or a girl. I was like, it's actually a nice
That was
thing.
a good line, yeah.
Anything else that you liked about the anime?
I think that pretty much summed up my pros.
I personally, I like some of the things that they were trying to do with the anime. Like, there were some things that led to some character development. Like, there was a whole scene where Ryoma was talking about how he worked so hard to be where he's at, because, you know, they kind of make him seem like he just got all this out of nowhere, but no, in one episode he explains to Izumi that no, he actually put a lot of effort, and the reason why he has such resentment towards Izumi's brother, who is already a part of a very well-known family of entertainers, so he didn't really have to work as hard as Ryoma. I like that they explored that, but I want to see them explore it more. It's brought up one time and then never again. There's also this whole thing dealing with Izumi and his passion for drawing manga and all that stuff. Adding something more to the character than just focusing mainly on the relationship. You give the character something else that grows from that relationship. And also, there is this one character who's like kind of like the manager for the Senna family. That guy is the best character in the entire anime. I don't remember what his name was. I'll put it right here. But literally, the best character. He had the best lines, the best scenes. He actually had a stronger relationship with Izumi than freaking Ryoma, his main love interest. I thought that was pretty interesting. And there are actually some good jokes in the anime as well. Like, if there's one thing Matt and I can agree with, the anime was funny. Whether it be intentionally or unintentionally.
There were various very comedic moments where I was just like, okay, it's not as bad as we think.
And the anime definitely was able to embrace the silliness. They had fun with what they were doing, and that's nice. But even though all those things are nice and good, they fail on the biggest things that they should have focused on in this anime, and that's what we're gonna get into. Okay, Matt, the gloves are off. What did we not like about this anime?
Personally, I thought it really portrayed their relationship in an unrealistic sense. It was definitely more lust than love, and very forced, like literally forced at times. That it was just, there's no way for it to actually develop into a love interest between the two. Yeah,
it definitely portrayed all of the negative aspects that I've always heard from yaoi animes. My preconceived notion about it being very sexual and lustful, like literally, the whole relationship is not based on the fact that Ryoma really loves Izumi. It's based on the fact that he's lustful for him. Like, there are so many scenes where they could have been forming an emotional connection, but it always ended in a very lustful way. Even the way the anime ends, it doesn't end where they form an emotional connection. It's definitely of the sexual nature, and that's where they miss the mark. You're supposed to feel like there's a bond forming between them, but throughout the entire anime, guys, I'm not even kidding you, they don't even spend enough time for you to feel a convincing romance. They slack on the romance aspect.
Yeah, which I think was very odd, because the budding of the romance started off with this feeling. It's like, I don't like him because he's a guy. I like him because I've had all these feelings for so long. So then to go from that to immediately into all physical things made absolutely no sense in the development of their character.
And it didn't make any sense that they would automatically just turn gay too. Like, one of the things I was surprisingly shocked at, because again, I've never seen a yaoi anime, is that the characters technically start off straight. Like, and I'm not talking like they were like, you know, questioning or they were bi-curious. They were hardcore straight. Freaking Izumi is in love with a anime character, a female anime. Lala Lulu. And what was her enemy's name? Gaga Ruru?
Yeah, it's like Ruru.
Lala Lulu and Gaga Ruru. But yeah, he was a hardcore otaku. He was into females, like, and all that stuff. Now, you can make the argument that, you know, when presented with, you know, Ryoma and all that stuff, presented with this new sexual experience, maybe that changed his orientation. No. But, Matt, what do you think about that?
Coming from Ryoma's standpoint, Ryoma was this heartthrob. He had females literally ripping clothes off of him, chasing him around. And so to go from that to like, oh, I like this boy because he's cute, just didn't make any sense. One thing nice about it though was that Izumi didn't like immediately turn gay. He was definitely against it, but I would say that
he was fighting it throughout the anime, and then all of a sudden, like, the thing that turns the tide is there's this one act of kindness, and all of a sudden now he's like, oh man, I want that dick so badly right now.
Yeah.
And for me personally, I was so mad because one act of kindness does not equate like true love. If one act of kindness is all that takes for someone to fall in love with you, I'd be dating 15 girls right now. Like, all of them would just be dating me because I've been kind to many of females. But that doesn't mean like they love me. They just think I'm a nice person. And I'm sure Izumi would have just thought that Ryoma was a nice friend and a nice person. Yeah. But no, just because of that one act of kindness, it's like, hey, I love you so much. You're mine forever.
The family dynamic was terrible.
The manager was more of a father and a mother and a brother to Izumi than his actual mother, father, and brother.
Yeah.
I mean, the brother was kind of there all the time, even though
the brother was creepy. You
all know how I feel about incest in anime. There was so much incestuous vibe between the brother and Izumi that it was just like, God.
The brother would only mention how physically attractive his younger brother was, how cute he was, whether he was
he always wanted to be with him too.
Yep. He mentioned how he used to kiss him on the lips. It was just all these odd things coming from his brother, and his parents are completely void. They weren't there.
Remember that one episode where they were heading to a party and we didn't see them for like 4 episodes later? Matt goes to me. What did you tell me?
I was like, I think they're still at the party.
Like, he even like freaking Izumi like leaves and all that stuff, and the manager guy is still there, and we're like, where are the parents? Are they still like at the party? You could be the husband's like, hey, shouldn't we go back home? It's been about like 3.5 days. Like, no, I'm still twerking my ass off. I'm having so much fun.
Pretty much.
And it sucked because it would have been nice to explore this family dynamic. One thing that was so interesting is that Izumi, out of all the family members, didn't want to be a part of the public eye. He didn't want anything to do with like mainstream entertainment. He wanted to be a manga artist, and as many of you may know, manga artists aren't always in the spotlight. Maybe major manga artists, but most of them kind of keep to themselves and they work in the shadows. That was upsetting to see.
And furthermore, he doesn't even explore his career. There's like a brief moment where he's like, I'm pursuing this, and it doesn't work out. And then all of a sudden he gets all this publicity about him being an entertainer, and he completely forgets about the manga. And it made no sense because the whole show developed into, I love manga, I want to do this. And then all of a sudden it's just like, never mind.
I'll be in the public eye now, totally disregarding what my character was literally 2 episodes ago. Like, it just done. And you could make the argument that after the debut, his opinions about it changed, but even after the debut, like, he still had some hesitations about it. Some of the things that were happening to him, he just wasn't comfortable with.
Everything in Izumi's life honestly felt forced. He didn't want to do pretty much anything throughout the show, and it was just like, you have to do this, 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 we're tricking you into doing this. And he was literally physically and mentally abused throughout the whole thing to do things that he didn't want to do.
Funny enough, you said that through the entire anime he didn't want to do anything that was like forced upon him. He did do one thing at the very end. That was something that he wanted to do. Wink, wink. And honestly, the anime as a whole is just a really dull experience. It's kind of boring. Me and Matt struggled to watch it. Like, there were times where we weren't even focusing because everything that was happening, there was no real attachment that we formed with these characters. So we really didn't care. The dilemmas were also really weak. Like, there's some drama that happens in this anime, but the drama is just not all that compelling, nor is it really that monumental. No. And it gets resolved quite easily, as if it wasn't even that big of a deal. And I'm like, what a waste. So overall, guys, although this anime has a few good moments scattered throughout, the one word that I think Matt and I can agree with that describes this anime is
disappointed.
I mean, this is my first ever yaoi anime, and this is my introduction to it. That is a damn shame, and I expected way more. as we already explained to you in this review, and I'm sure Matt, you feel
Yeah.
the same way, you know.
100.
And this is his first yaoi anime too. What would you give this out of 5 stars?
I would give it like a 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5 stars too. It's an easily forgettable anime, guys. Just don't watch it. And this is not me bashing on them because it's a gay relationship, it's a gay romance. A romance is a romance as long as you develop it right.
Yes.
The problem is there is no connection, there is no romance. There's nothing at all. It's just all, hey, I wanna kind of fuck this guy. That's it. As a huge lover of romance anime, I was extremely let down. Shame on you, Love Stage. But as always, Matt and I aren't the end-all be-all opinion when it comes to Love Stage. I know that there's a huge fan base for this anime, and I'm sure they're gonna attack us once they watch this review. So
Sorry, guys.
put your shields up because they're coming for us. But we would love to know what you guys thought about this anime. Did you love it a lot? Did you think it was the greatest anime ever? Or were you like us and just really let down and disappointed by the overall experience? And let us know, what is your favorite yaoi anime? Or better yet, what's your favorite yaoi relationship? Comment below and let us know. Matt will be actually in another yaoi anime review coming up next week, so stay tuned for that. And then I'm going to be heading to San Francisco this week, and I'll give you some Yuri anime reviews before I head out. But until then, guys, if you'd like to see more videos with Matt and I on this channel, please hit that subscribe button, like this video if you really enjoyed it, and I'm Tony Watt II, joined by my buddy Matt. Would you like to say anything to the audience?
We love you.
We love them.
Yes, and not the lustful way, the actual love way that, relationships develop.
Well, I love you in the lustful way. As the Black Critic Guy. Till then, peace, YouTube.